military. Well, a lot of them are already overweight, and there are weight expectations for the military. So if they're in the 12th grade and they're already overweight, they're expecting to graduate to go to the military, only to gonna be told, well, you're not able to leave now because you have to lose X amount of pounds. Right. Because the same thing was done to me. You know, the recruiter, his thing was to get you to sign that paper, get you in. Yeah. And then after that, you know, you just kind of left me hanging because I'm thinking, okay, you have to lose X amount of pounds, so we're going to have to push your date to here and da da da. So I feel like at times they're really kind of setting these kids up actually for failure.
You said they sounded like gods, you know. They was talking and they was communicating, but no one was telling them that, you know, this is right or this is not right,
guiding
or
them.
This is the way you should say it, or you should do it, or you should go through it. You know, it's easy to sound like gods, but it's very hard to be a god when you don't know be a god, because I knew.
Right, you had the knowledge.
I had the knowledge.
You had the knowledge.
And a lot of times, you know, it's up to us, you know, to take those young people aside and say, okay, this is what you're going to need to do. You want to go into the military? This is what you're going to need to do. You're going to need to start working out. You're going to need to take some of the fat out of your diet. You're going to need to, you know, to empower them, to make them not just so much sound like gods, but to make them gods.
A lot of the seniors, I mean, huge, tremendously overweight. Yeah. There's no way that they can go straight out of high school into the military. But a lot of them are banking on going out of high school straight to the military, and that's how I'm going to get my education.
Yeah,
but
setting them up for failure almost.
Exactly, and like you said, who's prepping now?
Exactly.
You know, who's taking over the empowerment? But what you were saying, I mean, was
just like getting ready for college. They got hopes to going to Alabama, but they've gone through 12 years of being shuttled through a system, and then once you get in 12th grade, it's like, oh, you don't have this, or you don't, you need to have this class, and it's too late.
Right.
And you don't want to be a freshman doing remedial classes in college.
And that's another thing. Parents have got to get into communicating with their children more, and spending more time with them, and talking with them, and finding out what they want out of life, and helping them to get this prep work. Because see, just because they in ROTC, people do things because they just want a paycheck nowadays. And if it ain't somebody else that's out there that want to see you do better, or see that person do better, then that person that just out there for a paycheck, they ain't gonna tell them what they need to do. They ain't gonna tell them what struggles they're gonna go through. They're gonna let them think that, oh, I can weigh 190 pounds at 5'5", and I'm going into the Army because I'm ROTC.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's too many people out there that just doing their job for a paycheck.
That's what I saw in the school system, is staff.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, okay, you done this class, go over here.
Yeah.
You done it here, go over here.
Exactly.
And when you show that you care, then you're looked at like, you don't have time to get in depth with them, because they got to be over here for 30 minutes in this hour. And like she was saying, what's your name? Ann. You got a generational gap. You got a 70-year-old grandparent raising you, and you're in the 6th grade.
Yeah.
It's not even going to be relatable.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be old school, and you're sitting here in 2011.
Say that I thought the depth, the piece had great depth, that it sheds light or highlights the fact that we and our children are sometimes in the lack of knowledge of who we truly are, our origin, our purpose in life, how we need to become in touch with ourselves and our children, and educate and empower. That's what I got from the piece.
This was called Kaleidoscope. How many grew up in the 80s, 90s?
Well, sort of. 70s.
Big change.
60s,
Yeah.
70s.
Yeah.
Back in the day, just like now, it's different. Now it's more technology. You gotta have one of these.
Oh, sorry.
Cool. Or you gotta have, like back in the day, you just had a notebook and you must be from the projects or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or you had the big chains or the Nike
Adidas
shoes
or yeah.
Adidas or Puma. So this is based on that. Life for me will never be the same. From a sapling babe to running with the untamed. Wild like a jungle, crazy like a zoo. In my shoes, 1 and 1 weren't 2. Worked hard in the heat in a world so cold. Instead of praising God, we worship that gold.
Mm-hmm.
Shapes, figures, many different colors. Agape love one shared between brothers. Unconditional love passed down by your mothers. No, we chase colors like rings around Saturn. Can you pick it out? Which is your pattern? I'm about to flip it like the old school do. If 1 and 1 ain't 2, we supposed to do. It's not a message with the faded hope. I see it all too clear through my kaleidoscope. When one door slams shut, one door swings wide. Many problems resolve when I and I collide. Hard times don't linger, many pains subside. Giving props to my pops for teaching me as a child. Sunshine, shine bright, rays people through the clouds. Weary days are gone, a better day is here now. Reflective technology. Times changing rapidly. Tell me, what do people see? Faith, hope, or the end of a road? Nah, we need to flip it like the old school do. If 1 and 1 ain't 2, we supposed to do. Fix it all together, then hang like fellas. We can change anything no matter what they tell us. It's not a message with the faded hope. It's not a game or a joke. I see it all too clear. Please tell me, can you hear? Take a look inside of my kaleidoscope. So that's through this piece. That's what I'm doing, describing how I see my world.
Thoughts?
I got going through, learning from, understanding your pain, getting to the other side of it. I got all that out of it. You look again, and you know there's another side to it.
Mm-hmm.
It don't have to be just what you seen that first time. It can change. You can go through it. You can get to something better.
I suppose looking at things in a multi-dimensional way, and I like the fluidity of the poem. It's a different style, but I'm not accustomed to it, but I like it, so it sounds good to the ear, and goes in and out, but it's very easy to grasp it and pay attention to the words, and that's what I look for, in the depth and what the poet could have actually been feeling, or what gave him the start. I don't know the style that there's all different types of styles of poetry, but it's a lovely piece.
Thank you.
Change is the word.
I see. Kicking like an old school, then what one started, with somebody, the other one finished. It was sticking together, being loyal, just, and trying to do better.
Chasing that goal could be, like back in the day, it was how many gold chains could you do?
Yeah.
That's just to pacify you, because you're really hiding from, because looking back at those guys and girls that did that were not from a two-parent family or from a rich family, so I'll make it up, or I'll make myself look good by having it.
I guess my perception is that each person is basically a collage. Going through one time period to another, different experiences, and so I guess I see myself as a collage, going through different phases, channels of life, and then looking back and drawing on my experience, and basically that with age comes wisdom, so you can look back at things that you've gone through, and if you reflect, you look back and say, well, I would do things differently, seeing what you've been through and progressing through time. So I like that.
Back in the day when the kids were wearing the Adidas and the Pumas and all of that, like you say, some of them come from 2-parent homes, but some of them come from 1-parent homes. So whatever they're missing, they tend to put energy or love into having that nice gold outfit or having them Pumas to get that kind of, right, yeah, that suit, that they're trying to attract that attention or lack of attention that they miss from that second parent. So I kind of think that goes hand in hand with like today's youth. A lot of today's youth are, unfortunately, they're the crack babies. Unfortunately, their parents are at work because they don't have no choice. They would love to be a stay-at-home mom or love to be a stay-at-home dad.
So BET raised.
Right, so BET is raising a lot of our kids. 7th, 8th, and 9th, and 10th graders, stilettos, and, they're so revealing, you know what I mean? And more skin is better. But, how can we truly, truly be mad at them? Jerry Springer, what they see on Maury,
They're not working to buy it.
That you have to be actively involved and look very closely at the education your child is receiving.
True.
You have to make determinations of whether or not you can send them to a school that's more focused on well-rounded, and I think it's really just can't send your kids to school anymore. Anywhere that you really need to investigate and find a place where they will become well-rounded, educated individuals physically as well as mentally.
At last I can smile by
Antoinette Burton.
All right.
This was a catharsis of going from my life of addiction to becoming healed through the power of God. So this is entitled So Many Loves I've Had Time. They didn't love me like Christ, a more perfect love, more perfect peace, more fulfillment in life and love I could never find. So when in a worldly sense I am feeling somewhat alone, I remember I have not to do but reach for Christ my Savior on my personal cell phone. I carry it everywhere because I know He's always there. I know how much He cares. No need to recharge because God is fully in charge. He's hearing my heart day and night. No other love can surpass Him. No other love will ever do. Precious Lord, see me through. So many loves I've had to leave behind. The perfect love in Christ I am blessed to find.
Oh, that is good. What did you get from it?
I love him.
Okay.
I like his style. I would be very interested in learning different techniques. I know he mentioned coaching and
fitness.
Because I've had no professional training. This was like a freelance experience, and I've been writing since I was like 14, but all of it's a variety of different styles and things, but I would like to learn to become more focused and able to express myself more clearly and effectively.
Beautiful. Okay. What about you, ma'am? Movie star.
I didn't say much, but I listened. It reminded me about my young days, some things, especially that last one reminded me of my high school.
Mm-hmm.
I learned a lot, I really enjoyed what he said. It did, but it would bring back memories. It really did. That's and I'd like to learn more how to write and everything.
The energy in here was positive and inviting, and made me feel comfortable.
Love. Okay. I feel that.
There you go.
Ma'am.
I enjoyed it, and I always like things that make me think, that help me to express what I feel and what I think about. And like I said, a lot of it brought me back to my own poem that I had wrote, and maybe one day I'll do my
Oh yeah, you gonna do it.
I really did enjoy it.
She's staying. She got
I
staying.
think I got a lot out of it, and got a lot of correct. And I really haven't ever tried poetry, but I may one day.
Okay.